So I took a little detour. I saw the Little Bighorn battlefield on my way to Sturgis, and right now I'm on the little battlefield trail that they have that you can drive. And you read it in the history books if you're lucky, or you see like a History Channel episode about it, and you get a little bit of understanding. More than likely, you hear a bunch of the whatchamacallit, the controversy. Oof. The controversy behind Custer and why he did what he did, and all that, and it doesn't really explain to you what happened. And you look at this and you're like, my God, I'd be. Soldiers see scary shit. They endure stuff that people say we should not endure. Well, war is, let's be honest, war is a part of human nature, and it's not going to change. And coming in here and seeing this, you see how it really was. If these markers are placed exactly where they were, then exactly where they were, how they died, how desperate of a battle it was for them. And I don't see a lot of the markers showing the natives. There's a couple, but they seem more, I don't know, I don't want to say like propaganda, but it feels like they were placed there to essentially just commemorate all of them, even though they do have specific names on them. But I only saw 3 total, and not to give a bias towards either side, but you can't tell me that 200 and some odd cavalrymen only killed 3. They have to have some records for the natives that died here, and at least show more of them. That's neither here nor there. An odd thing I noticed was off to my left here, going kind of more southwest of the Little Bighorn, the last stand. There's a big trail of grave markers for cavalrymen. And at first, when you're looking from the big top, you're looking up top there, and you're looking down from the last stand down, it looks a little bit more scattered, and you're like, well, how did they get there? And then when you go down to the bottom and you read what was going on there, you can see that they got ambushed at the bottom. It's called a deep ravine, and mostly E Company got hit there, but a small amount of people really got out of there and started heading up towards higher ground. What I'm guessing is they were hoping to get a better vantage against the natives who were running after them, and by the time they got there, forces are so depleted, really hard to make a stand. You can be as valiant as you want, but sometimes numbers really just outweigh everything else. I'm here at Calhoun Hill, and apparently here's where one of their defensive lines happened, and you can see grave markers just scattered everywhere. They're all over the fields, and one thing I noticed about the grave markers is a lot of them are paired or grouped. There's only a few that you see that are just off by themselves. And a lot of those where you see them grouped, it's obviously where they took one big stand and really tried to hold the line, hold back all the enemies, trying to gain some time for everyone to reorganize, to put a better defense together. But as we all know, it was futile in the end. But then you get like a few, just a small amount. I think I've found a total of maybe 4 or 5 that are just off by themselves. And I don't know if I don't think they were deserting. I mean, it's difficult to desert when you're surrounded. What I think happened is, with all the confusion going on and everything that was happening, it's just some people didn't know where to go. They lost sight of their buddies, and made the best decision to find a spot where they could defend themselves until they could find someone else. But let me see if I can let me park real quick, show you what I mean about the groupings. And this is what I mean. Let me see what I mean? They're all in little pairs or groups. You can just, it's cool to see that, that concept of camaraderie. I don't know if you'll be able to see them, but then you get like the one random one right there in the center, and it's just, let me get back inside here. Kind of windy, but you get an understanding of how the Army still does stuff. The instant you get the basic training, you learn. Always have a battle buddy. Always be with someone. Because if you're not with someone, you're all alone, and that's where shit happens. And obviously, there's bonds that were made in 7th Cavalry. It's not just a bunch of random strangers in uniform fighting. These guys have lived together, worked together, fought together. They're in all sense of the term, they're brothers in arms. And you care about each other. You want to see each other succeed. You're not just out there for yourself. If you're out there for yourself, you're not a true soldier. It's a sum of all its parts that makes a unit worthwhile. And I think that's what happens. A lot of these groups and pairs and stuff was, buddies who, fought together, ate together, slept together, not, obviously bivouacked, stuff like that. It's just, they stayed together. Even when one went down, the other one probably stayed there and fought next to him or tried to save him, or who knows. It's over almost 150 years ago. Difficult to really know, but it's nice to see that that's a tradition that has still stayed throughout the time. of keeping yourself together with your unit, fighting together, having each other's backs. Well, I think I'm going to let it at this one, and I'll be back probably with a little video for Sturgis. So, I'll see you then.